sense? So we're starting analytical geometry. Okay? As I said, it is a little mixture of a little bit of algebra, a bit of geometry. We're basically looking at shapes on a Cartesian plane, and we try and calculate things. So it's not so much proofs like in Euclidean. We start with a very simple, we got a very easy lesson today. So 2 points, A and B, coordinates are 1, 1, 4, 3, and I ask a very simple question: what's the distance between these 2 points? And I'm just going to pause here for a second to hear what you got to say. That's it. All right, good. So I got the answers all correct. Okay, let's draw that. So we're going to draw this little triangle, okay? And we know that this point, I can add that. This point is, the x is 1 and the y is 3. Okay? Not that it's that important, but what you guys did tell me is that we have to go up 2, and right we have to go up, sorry?
No, up 3, right 2.
No, up 2 from y.
Right 3.
No. So I've done this wrong. This should be, no. This is 1 from. So up 2
Right 3.
and right 3. Yes. So from 1, y equal 1 to y equal 3 is 2. And to the right, we have to go from x equal 1 to x equal 4. We have to go 3. And then we do a Pythagoras. Okay? So the distance, okay, we'll say AB squared is going to be equal to 2 squared plus 3 squared. Okay? Right? And to get there, I'll write it down. How did we know that it was 2? Okay, we kind of just counted in our head. But what we really did, how do we know it was 2? What kind of calculation we did in our head? 3 minus 1, right? So we took that 3, the y here, and minus the y there. So 3 minus 1, and we squared it. Just keep that in mind, because you've done it in the head without even being aware of it. You're going to write down the general formula.
So do you have to do that?
No, but I'm just using that to show you the formula that then you're going to use. You're not going to always have to do it. Okay? And to get this, how do we know that this is 3? What did we do here? 4 minus 1. We took the x here and we minus the x there. Okay, 4 minus 1 squared. So we did the difference between the y's and then we did the difference between the x. Okay, so let's just solve it for a second. So AB squared equal 4 plus 9. AB squared equal 13. Okay? And then we want to give an answer, AB equals square root of 13. Now you got to check what they're asking in the question. They might ask you to leave your answer as a surd. You know, that's called a surd, an absurd surd. Okay? Or they might want you to write down 2 decimal places. And you just put in the calculator, press that S and B. Okay? Right, now let's try and write down a general formula. I'm just going to want to make sure I write it the same. Okay, so yeah, I'll just pause it for a second. Okay, guys, I press record. Okay, so we're going to calculate. We want to write down a general formula for the line or for the length of AB. Okay, or we'll start with a square. Okay, so we know AB squared, okay, is basically going to be the it's going to be the square root of AC squared plus BC squared. Okay? So AB squared will be CA. Okay? How long is CA? Using, okay, well, I didn't say it, but I wrote, we are working with general coordinates. So I didn't put numbers. We start with numbers, now we have letters. So the coordinate here is XA, YA, okay, the X of A or Y of A, XB, YB. What is this length? How would I write in terms of the Y's or the, in this case, it's going to be the 1. Okay, so AC, in terms of the Y's, what would it be?
YA minus YB. Or
the other way around. Okay, so YB minus YA, because YB is higher. Okay, and I need to square CA, so it's going to be square. Okay, And then I want to find out BC squared. How would I write BC squared?
XB minus XA squared.
XB minus XA squared. And guys, this is it. This is the formula. So the general formula for length of a line, length of a segment, is the difference in the y squared, yb minus ya squared, plus the difference of xb minus xa squared. Now let me ask you a question. If instead of yb minus ya, I wrote ya minus yb, would it make a difference?
No, because you're squaring it.
Because you're squaring it. You're absolutely right. Okay? You're right that, look, ya minus yb is going to be minus yb minus ya. So if it was just the difference of the y, yes, there will be a difference of a minus, but because we're squaring it, James saying squaring the minus is going to be positive. So it doesn't even matter which y you're doing first. And with the same thing, obviously, for x. And then the last thing, almost the last thing, there's just another way of writing it. If I want to find out what is AB, not the square of AB. Okay? If I want to write down what is AB equal, what should I write? Okay? AB is equal what? The square of AB is equal to the square of that plus the square of that. What is AB equal to? Okay. Can I write YB minus YA plus XB minus XA? Can I do that? Is that allowed? No, definitely not. Because I'm asking in a funny way, isn't it? Okay? So like Olivia says, what we're going to do is write down the square root of YB minus YA squared plus the square of XB minus XA. Okay, guys?
Yes, sir.
Right, I'll just pause here and we'll do one last example. Okay, right, the last bit of this video is one more example, and I chose points, deliberately I chose points that are negative. So there's some negative numbers because there's obviously some confusion there. So minus 1 and 2, minus 3 and minus 3. I want to find out the length of this, we'll call it DE. Okay? So, where can I stand? You'll be able to see me here. Okay? Right, DE. I'm going to use the second equation. Okay? It's going to be the square root. Okay, what should I write now? The difference of the y squared. What's the difference of the y? Okay, you've done it in the head. You said, alright, from 2 to minus 3 is 5. You can do it, but there could be some mistakes. So I personally would recommend to do 2 minus 3 squared. Okay? But I hear what you're saying, James, and actually there is a point thinking, you know what, if you sometimes do that, it's actually, you might more make a mistake. There's a bigger chance you make a mistake. See what James said, okay, this is minus 3. To get to 2, I need to move 5 up. So it's absolutely fine. You could just say 5. Right. And then we add the difference in the x. What's the difference in the x? 4. Okay, here you gotta watch out. Is it 4? So your intuition doesn't work. What is the x? It's 2. Isn't it? Between minus 1 and minus 3, it's 2. Okay? Or the way I would do it, minus 1 minus 3. Okay? The difference between minus 1 and minus 3 is minus 1 minus 3. Which for me here will work as minus, no, actually this will be 2 squared. And that will be 2, but it doesn't matter. Okay, and that will be minus 5. And as you say, James, it doesn't matter because we're squaring it anyways. Okay, so that's going to be equal to square root of 25. So 5 square is 25 plus 2 square. This is 2. 2 square is 4 plus 4. I'm getting square root of 29. And if you need your answer in a cert, that's okay. Otherwise, just put it in the calculator. Okay? Right. Well done. I'm out of here.